You're listening to the Business Wealth Impact Podcast, your source for empowering information and cutting-edge ideas from the world's top minds. I'm your host, Jeanne Amlour, founder of seven-figure coaching company, Jeanne Amlour International. Join me on a journey to unleash your potential and create your highest success. Welcome to Business Wealth Impact. Hello and welcome to Business Wealth Impact. Today we have a lovely guest, Lovely Marshall, who is the accelerator for powerhouses, turning overlooked and undervalued professionals and businesses, transforming them into highly paid powerhouses by adding another zero to their account. Welcome, Lovely.
Welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here.
And it's an honor to have the queen here. I love your queen barrette. Okay. So, Lovely, I really was so interested in having you on the show just because your story. Tell
Yeah.
everybody about how you just willed yourself to get this amazing job at Facebook and
Yeah.
your philosophy of how you make things happen in your life.
Yeah. Absolutely. So I will say that people now use the word manifester. Like I would say I'm a big manifester. And I think what really happened and why people are mostly intrigued is because I got a job at Facebook making over $1 million, but I have no degree, no connections, nothing. It was just me and my mindset and my husband saying like, "Oh my God, like if we work at Facebook, we'll get $1 million." And like, oh my God, I went from making $42,000 a year to $42,000 a month. And it really did start with a mindset and connecting with the right people. We were connecting before and just getting to know each other. And so Janine and I was talking about how when I hear something, I act up on it to ensure that I go about doing it. And that's what I learned. I learned after further studying, like most of the executive team, they didn't have a degree themselves. And I was like, if the guy who built the company doesn't have a degree, then I will be okay. Like my knowledge, my skill sets, this is my time. And so I just wrote my own job offer to Facebook and I posted it and then it ended up happening.
Wow, that's an amazing story. So what we're hearing here is you just decide, hey, I'm just going to go do this. But then it's interesting that a lot of the other people working there didn't have degrees. So they're like, that's totally fine because none of us have degrees. This is amazing
Right.
because everybody thinks they need to have a college degree to get an amazing job.
Hmm.
So this is a big
Hmm.
wake up call to the world that
Yeah,
you just need to say, I'm doing this and go try. And it seems like
absolutely.
you have some sort of attitude, it's worth a try, right? So tell us more about that.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like it's that old saying of like, what's the worst that can happen? The worst they can do is say no. And it really just started from me just being sick of being broke. I have heard like people from Grant Cardone and Alex Hermosi, just various people like, look, I've been broke before and now having money and doing things, it's the same type of initiatives. Like if you have to go for a job making $50,000 a year, you still got to work 8 hours a day. You still have to punch in. You still have somebody to report to. So if it's going to take the same amount of effort, why not go about doing things just at a grander scale?
Right. It's the 10Xing. But you're right. It's not fun not having money. And I'm one of those people. I had
Mhm.
no money. And then making money is far more fun. You're freer and you can
Yes,
help your kids and more people and give to your church and do more fun stuff and create
absolutely.
more purpose. So, having money is great if you have purpose going with it. And it's not just about the money. So great. So you got this job at Facebook. And
Mhm.
what were you doing before that?
Yeah, so before that, which is really interesting, I was working at a healthcare company as a product manager. And it was so incredible because the exact same job title, I went from one product manager working in healthcare to a product manager working at Facebook. And I got over a 200% pay increase. Exact same job
Hmm.
title. Like it didn't change. The things I was doing, I was still building products, but I was now doing it at a global scale instead of just for Houston, Texas, and for Louisiana. And that was the biggest difference. My customers just basically shifted from being local to being global.
Okay, so you 200x's, you didn't 10x. You girlfriend, you went
Yeah.
all in. Okay, well, this is so inspiring, and I hope that a lot of people are listening right now because thing is really possible. So you're at Facebook, and you tell me what you were doing at Facebook because it was quite interesting about the blue check mark or something.
Yeah, yeah. So at Facebook, I help to build Meta Business Suite, and Meta Business Suite is the platform for powerhouses. It's where the Hiltons, the Amazons, everything that you see, like people are doing ads, it's a place where everything is all in one. So
Mhm,
Facebook owns WhatsApp, Instagram, and Facebook.
mhm.
I know, don't have a heart attack because you're like, oh, I don't deal with Facebook. But if you got WhatsApp, you're still dealing with Facebook.
Yes,
It's all a part of Meta platform.
right.
And so this platform does everything all in one. So
Mhm,
if you are like a business owner like yourself, you have so many clients and you're on Instagram and then you're on Facebook, but you also have international clients. And so you communicate them through WhatsApp. You can manage it all in one place. And that is so crucial for your security of your business because
mm,
you can be able to assign like
mm,
your employee, me lovely, to only address messages
right.
or only address comments, and
Mhm.
that's all available in this platform.
Right, and thank you for explaining that to people that don't know that. But what were you
Mhm.
doing? You said something about you were in charge of what was the product that you were managing there? Was it you said something about a
Yeah.
check mark or something?
Yeah, so the blue check Meta Verified was previously only for influencers
Mm,
and for big name companies. And within the platform, we help to roll it out for mom and pops, for us who are small business owners. And now this is something that's used over 20 million customers per month for this $1 billion product. Like it's, I think now 19.99. When we first were rolling
yes.
it out, it was like 12.99.
Mm,
Then we increased it to 14.99. And
mhm,
that blue check is a way for you to just basically
mhm,
say, hey, I am a business. Everything that I went through, it is legit.
mm,
And it's a really empowering way for you to do it. But it's similar to what Twitter and
right,
other things are doing. It's
right,
another way for these companies to make money.
right. Yes, of course. And I know about I didn't know which check you're talking about the verification on Instagram. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
So you left Facebook, and then what did you do?
Yeah, so my story is from failure to Facebook to Forbes to Powerhouse Founder. So I wanted to get a chance to get my story out there because at first it was kind of like a punchline that people were saying, like, how did you get a job at Facebook? And so people would sort of like laugh about it. But I recognized that a lot of people were asking because of a curiosity and they just didn't know the right steps.
Mm,
So again, me being bold, I reached out to Forbes and asked if I could be able to share my story about how I blocked my boss.
mhm,
Because that's kind of what started it. I was like, look, I don't want my boss to know that I'm going to be going on these interviews and stuff. So I blocked my boss, and people were like, I'm so scared too. Like, I need to block my boss. So Forbes allowed me to do that. And then I really just started like looking, like, there's a lot of people who really wanted to know about how can they get their careers, what can they do when it comes to social media, like listening to all these Joe Blows say you got to post 5 days, 5 times a day. That's a lot. Like you don't
mm,
have to do that. You
mm,
post when you feel inspired. And so I just was like, I know so much
mm.
and I can be able to empower other people and people are actually going to pay me. Like this is amazing. And so it has been an incredible journey that literally started 6 months ago. And
Mm,
I was explaining to you, like, hey, the goal was to replace my $42,000 a month salary with doing the things that I love. Now I have a purpose driven business,
mm,
helping other people get purpose driven businesses and purpose driven careers. It's so just inspiring, like you said. So I can give more back to my church and actually give more back to the community. Like people
mm.
want to give back, but they don't have the funds to do it. And it really does either starts with either your time or your money.
Well, the thing is, the whole thing about giving back, I think about all these, we say so many catchphrases. I analyze all of them. I'm like, what does
Hmm.
giving back actually mean? You can't
Hmm.
give back when you haven't had anything. So the people, as you say,
Yeah.
a lot of people, they're just feeding the family and paying the bills. Can't expect people that are barely making it. You know, that's the Maslow's hierarchy. If you're way down there and struggling, you don't have energy to help other people, right? So making money does give us something that, I mean, and I don't see it as giving back. I just see it as giving.
Exactly.
It's not giving back. We didn't take anything
Yeah,
from anybody. So I
that's
have a
true.
problem, honestly, with the giving back because I never took anything. I created stuff, people paid me, and it was already in exchange. I see it as just giving, right? Just giving more.
Yeah,
Yes, I don't actually say giving back because I never really understood that, being very,
I
pedantic
like
as I
that.
am. Yeah. Okay, so now you are like a life and business coach and helping people to build their
Uh-huh.
businesses or also helping them to get good jobs like you got?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And what I say is that most of the time people are overlooked and undervalued.
Mm,
The reason why that they are 9 times out of 10 undervalued is because they're overlooked. They're overlooked for the promotions, they're overlooked for the jobs. And it's because either their resume isn't stellar, they don't have an opportunity of doing the storytelling. Like how I got on your amazing podcast, it was the ability to tell a story, and that's what people are captivated by,
mm,
whether they're recruiters, whether they're your customers. Apple captivated us because of the fact of their story. We're using
mhm,
Riverside and it said rolling out the red carpet. That's a
mm,
story. Like I felt empowered
mm,
when I was coming on it because I'm like, oh, yeah, red carpet, I'm going to the movies. It makes you feel empowered because of the
mm.
messaging that you have. And that's generally what businesses that they have that they're overlooked and undervalued because they don't have the right story or they're not using their messaging on the right platform in order to get it out there.
Okay, so interesting what you say about storytelling. Gary's video that was, I think, from 2013 or something, where he was talking about storytelling and community then, and we're still talking about it because really we've done
Mhm.
studies and I've even looked at my clients and the ones that get better at storytelling. We coach in my coaching program. The coaching on the content is about telling stories because we
Yes,
know the storytelling post. Humanity has always been moved by stories. When there was no
yes,
media, people used to sit around campfires telling stories.
absolutely. I love that.
Well, it's very vital to human communication was that's the only way they communicated in the past was through storytelling. So it's so interesting that we're still human. We still want to attach it to a story instead of just being spam.
Yeah,
So your story is amazing. And that's because it's so empowering for people that, I don't have a degree. I didn't have a degree. I had a job in product management for a very small place, I'm guessing, or it wasn't well paid. And I just decided
yeah,
I'm going to go and apply, and Facebook said yes. I mean, you could write a whole story about Facebook said yes.
yeah. So that's what's crazy too. I did not apply to Facebook. Facebook reached out to me
Wow.
using LinkedIn. Like, no, I did not apply to
Oh, you're kidding. You
Facebook.
mean it just happened? Well, that's even better. So they just reached out and said, "Hey, we want to interview you for this job."
Yeah, yeah,
Oh.
absolutely. I still have the email to this day.
Mm,
And the recruiter it basically, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a generic one, but it was like, "Hey, lovely, I read your profile. I think that you will be great for Facebook. We're a product that builds for millions around the world for meaningful connections, and I think you will be great." And I was like, "Oh my God, like Facebook wants me." And then I'm not even kidding, 2 days later, Google then reached out to me and was
mm,
like, "Hey, lovely, we think you'll be good." And I was like, "Oh my God." Like, so you don't necessarily need a degree. You need the
mm,
experience. You need your LinkedIn profile to be incredible. You need to be posting about things that matters. And
mm.
sometimes the comments will get you further than even your own post. Because if you comment on like your
Yes.
profile who has thousands of followers, and then you get connected to this amazing people, then it's like, oh my God, like this one comment led me to, being able to be incredible.
Wow. Okay. So we can't really replicate this. We can just replicate your energy. Does that make sense? Because I
Yeah.
thought it was like, yeah, sure, go apply. Basically, we can just replicate your whole life energy of anything's possible. And so they actually found you. You were discovered. That's incredible.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I'm even more amazed. Okay. So then how do we replicate that then? I mean, I'm sure you thought about that. It's more about teaching people.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think number one, replicating is asking yourself what is it that you want.
Mm,
And you and I touched on this in like our preview call. It was like, what is it that you want, Lovely? And I was like, well, right now, I mean, I just want to make what I was making before. Like I didn't even know I was going to be doing these things. And then it was me asking myself, like, why do I want it? And how could I go about doing it? Who are the people who could help me to do this? And is it possible for me to be able to do more? Like, what are these avenues? What are various ways that I can go about doing it? And to your
mm,
point, I teach people on how to make their LinkedIn profile to be attractive. I teach college students on how do you get a job before you even graduate? How
mm,
you leverage the fact that if you're taking a course study that's artificial intelligence, you better darn believe that's a skill. Like
mm,
everything that we do right now with you being a podcast, I don't care if you just do one episode. That's now a skill that nobody else knows about because you did it. And it's really hone it on those mundane things that people are just like, oh, I just took a marketing class. No, you took a class for social media that was
mm,
specific on Google Ads. And now people are needing your expertise because they want to know how do they become on the first page of Google. Like, don't negate that skill set and being sure that
mm,
number one, you list it, you talk about it, you post about it, you do a video about it. Like
mm,
you use that one content and
mm.
you put it on five different ways. Like
Right.
I follow you on all social media platforms, but I only see you on Instagram. And it's
Mm,
crazy. Like,
mm,
even though I follow you on every
mhm,
other platform, I only get to see your information on Instagram. Instagram is the one that feeds me. So people
mm,
are like, don't put the same thing on TikTok. No, you might need to put a different description, but on TikTok, guess what? I might not even see you.
mhm.
But if you put that same information on Instagram, then I'm likely to see you. And then I'm able to become your client because I was able to get something that you posted on TikTok, but you also brought it to me via Instagram.
Sure. So there's a lot of advice about what to post and all of that, but I don't feel like that's your secret sauce.
Yeah.
No, your secret sauce is not because I teach people social media, organic marketing,
Yeah.
and yes, of course, we know to do all that. But also what comes into it that I've been thinking a lot about lately is charisma. It is very hard to
Yes.
teach people, and I was an actress, so I know it's very hard to teach people how to be charismatic. And I used to direct actors as well, and it is something that is very hard to replicate fest and all of that. So beyond, yes, of course you're right. We all know we should be out there and posting but there's more to it than that. And have you thought about maybe what your actual secret sauce is as far as your energy and how you're manifesting? Have you been able to bottle that?
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So for me, I call myself the undefeated champion of enthusiasm. And the reason is because I, like everybody
Mm,
else, have survived 100% of my worst days. I survived my worst day of being fired. Like, yeah, I was fired. I survived my worst day of failing nursing school. And like you said, that bottled up energy, it's really that ability to make the most of it. Like I talk about it. I'll say, "Hey, Forbes took a nursing school failure and did it to where 10,000 people are now reading my information. Ha ha ha.
mm,
I would have only known 5 people if I was just a nurse." So
mm,
you talk about sometimes those things that are uncomfortable, but like you said, it's the story telling piece of it that brings that charisma
mm,
about who you are. You've been an actor.
mhm.
I had no idea, but you're very beautiful, so I could
Oh,
totally see that.
thank you. Actually, I never said this on air, but there is one film that you might have seen that I'm in called No Reservations, like with Catherine Zeta-Jones. That's the only film that people could possibly see me in. Okay, so basically, what I'm talking about is not how people, but how you. Do you get it? Like, so you're saying your charisma is because you're telling stories about your life, and that's what you
Yeah.
feel, and also your enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Okay, because you're the undefeated champion of enthusiasm. I love that
Yeah.
because you are very enthusiastic, and I feel speaking with you, and I've spoken to a lot of. I feel that your enthusiasm and positivity probably has
Mhm.
a lot to do with your success. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. 100%. It's the positivity and it's the ability to not be afraid to say no. Like,
Mm.
I love with you every time that we connect, you're like, hey, you need to be this and you need to be doing this and I need to be doing this. And I have noticed you do that for every single person that you speak with on your podcast, even in your post, you're talking about that, like, hey, here's the benefit of connecting with me. But if you don't put yourself out there and being able to share that information, then no
Mhm.
one will know about you. And I
Right.
think those are things that people can learn as you talk
Mm.
about business wealth and the impact that you have. It
Mhm.
really does come from you having that sense of, hey, I'm going to pitch myself sort of,
Mm.
so
Mm.
that way everyone can know about how valuable I can be to them.
Great. Okay. So I still maintain that if we want to be like lovely, we have to be lovely. And we also have to have extreme enthusiasm, positivity,
Yes,
and joy, because I've just noticed also in general that people that are so positive and friendly and
absolutely.
joyful, I mean, we all have hard times, but I think that's half the
Hmm.
battle is being really not fake positive, but just seeing the glass full, not half full, full,
Yeah,
brimming,
yeah.
brimming. My glass is not half full. So, what's before we leave everybody, what's one mindset or philosophy that you would like to leave people with about just something that you want to give to them?
Yeah, yeah. I think the biggest philosophy that I am sharing that I will say my superpower is stop being the best kept secret. In order for you to stop being overlooked and undervalued, whether you're a business owner or you're in a career, is you have to stop being the best kept secret. Like, you need to be sure that everybody knows you, not just Janine. You want the world to know your name. That's what separates the goods from the greats, those who are the legends. Other people knew their names. So stop being afraid. Put yourself out there, follow her so that way you can be able to learn how to post and do social media, but really take stock of the fact that being the best kept secret is the biggest expense that you'll have in your life. And so that is
Mm.
my philosophy that I really try to hone people on, is eliminating that obstacle of being the best kept secret.
Great. And how, and so, okay, so we already talked about how. So I'm with you on that. Stop being the best kept secret. And also, I mean, as part of that, I'd say it's like stop being shy and
Yes,
triple, quadruple guessing yourself and just get out there. Amen to that. And
right.
everybody should know my name. It's Jeanne. Because lovely, you've said Janine a few times, and I thought I can't take this anymore. Okay. Everybody, it's actually Jeanne. That's okay.
Sean. Oh my God. Sean, I'm so sorry.
It was no, no problem. Keep it
In
real.
our culture, your name is spelled like Janine. I'm so sorry. I should have had you say it first instead of me looking at the screen.
No, totally fine. Again, it's kind of a joke on our end because not many people can say Jean, so you're forgiven. Anyway, it was let's keep it real here, folks. So lovely. It was lovely to have you. I wish you a wonderful year this year, full of
Yes,
success and joy. And thank you so much for being on the show.
absolutely. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Have an amazing 2025. May you get 2025 things that you are able to be grateful for every single day.
That's wonderful. I hope I have that much. People that are listening, I hope you enjoyed this show. And I'm not begging you, but it would be nice if you liked and you shared this and you spread the love,
Yes.
especially such an amazing episode as we had today. Everybody, take care.
You're listening to the Business Wealth Impact Podcast, your source for empowering information and cutting edge ideas from the world's top minds. I'm your host, Jeanne Amlour, founder of seven-figure coaching company, Jeanne Amlour International. Join me on a journey to unleash your potential and create your highest success. Welcome to Business Wealth Impact.